Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews. Today we got another beer from Henrik over in Sweden. He packaged these beers up over there and sent them to me. Very expensive process to do when you're shipping beers to Virginia from Sweden. So Henrik, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate you taking the time to do that and spending the money, because I'm pretty sure the shipping costs as much as the 6 beers that you sent me. Very appreciative. I do appreciate it, sir. This is, and he sent a note here telling me about all the beers that he sent me. Sibbarp's Husbryggeri, Winter Warmer. Well, the later you get, yeah, we know what a winter warmer is here. But Husbryggeri means house brewery. Sibbarp is a beach in his hometown, so it's local. And it says as follows: Winter Warmer is an ale with big, bready, nutty, and spicy body, with balanced bitterness and notes of dried fruit, pomegranate, melon, and citrus. Ingredients: water, barley, pale ale, biscuit, wiener, and chocolate, wheat malt, rye malt, hops, mandarin, Bavaria, citrus, Columbus, Amarillo, and whole melon and yeast. So a lot of stuff in this beer. It is what the locals are drinking over there, I guess. So let's see what it brings to the table over here. This is a 7.5% alcohol by volume beer. So, and these bottles look a little different. I'm thinking this is, it says 33 CL. Looks like an 11.2 ounce bottle instead of a 12 ounce bottle. Very nice cap. I'm going to have to say that it's got the top half of the bird that's on the label here. So let's see what it brings to the table. Guys, I couldn't find anything on Beer Advocate when I typed in the name. It returned nothing. And it's probably there somewhere. I'm sure somebody will send me a link. Say, oh, here it is. When I type in the name of the beer, Subbarps, and it returns nothing, I'm done. That's it. But Untapped and both Beer Advocate have this beer listed, so we're going to go with those two in my opinion on this one. And since Beer Advocate is where I go to get the food pairings, and it didn't return anything for this beer, we're not going to go with food pairings, glassware, any of that. You see what glass I'm using. It's a solid beer glass, my favorite tulip glass. And it's a winter warmer. I can't see what, in the 7.5%, I don't see why you couldn't sell this beer. Rate Beer also has this beer listed at 85 IBUs. So, commercial description is exactly the same thing I just read off the letter, with the nutty and spicy body, balanced bitterness with hints of dried fruit, chocolate, Seville orange, melon, and citrus. So, it is time. Let us get this thing opened up and get it into the glass. Nice little yes on that. Into the glass we go. And I don't know how carbonated this is going to be. It looks like it's fairly well carbonated, so we're not going to pour it straight down the center because it's producing a massive head already. As you can see, down the side of the glass, and we got 2 fingers of head on that pour. Not a super chocolatey head, slightly off-white colored head. Over into the light, it's pretty brown and murky up here. I am getting a little bit of light through the thin part of the glass down here, guys. Looks pretty good. Let's get a nose on it, see what we can find out. Roasted malt, a nice sweetness to it. And that head doesn't look like it's going anywhere. It looks like it's even growing. A little bit of nuttiness in there. Not getting a huge hop profile on the nose. But they have used some American hops along with some of the European hops on this beer. Smells really, really good. It's got a very nice nuttiness to the aroma. Well, let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Hendrick. And look at that glass. The head is still growing. We're at 2.5 fingers now. It's almost at the top of the glass. So I don't know if I can get my big old nose down in there to get a drink. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Very nice. Not the best winter warmer I've ever had, but it is very pleasant. For 7.5% of it, alcohol seems to be very well hidden. There is a prominent hop bitterness to the beer. With 85 IBUs, I'm getting that. I am getting that hop presence to this beer. And with them using some American hops, so they use Mandarin, Bavaria, Citra, which is one of my favorites, Columbus, Amarillo. So there are 3 American hops along with the Mandarin and the Bavarian hops that they've used on this. Don't know what yeast they use, probably something local to those guys over there. Very pleasant. It's very nice. Like I said, not the best winter warmer that I've ever tasted. But very pleasant. The biggest thing that's standing out is the nuttiness to the beer. Very nice. Very nice beer. Well, let's right out of the fridge. Let's let it warm up. Let her taste it, and we'll come back and see where it ends up. Alright guys, I'm back. A little bit left in the glass. Awesome lacing is left on the glass. Very nice, very tasty beer, very well made beer. And I'm getting the nuttiness, caramel, some toffee in there. Let's have a nice citrusy kick to it. Very nice, a little different than your typical winter warmer. And like I said earlier, I've had better, but this is fairly decent. I don't know what this beer costs over there in Sweden. If it's reasonably priced or it's a little on the expensive side, I'm not sure. Henrik did not say what this beer costs in American dollars or what it costs over there anyway. But a decent beer. A nice example of a winter warmer that's brewed with some different hops that are combined together, the Bavarian and the English hops, and it works pretty well. A nice citrusy kick with the typical toffee, caramel, roasted malt notes. Nice sweetness, but the bitterness being 85 IBUs, it is a little strong on the bitterness to me. But a lot of these beers that are typically produced have a nice heavy sweetness to the back end, where this one does not. It has a lot of IBUs there. And with the Citra hops and stuff that they've used, it has a little bit of that citrusy kick to it. So a lot of the American guys might like this with that hop profile in there. But it's not quite as sweet as your typical winter warmer. I mean, of course, it's not to the barley wine scale anyway, but very nice. I'm glad I got to try this. Very enjoyable. Let's dive in and do the final chug. I am impressed by the nuttiness of this beer. Very much like a brown ale. Final chug. Very easy drinking for a 7.5%. Very nice. A lot of the winter warmers you get over here are into the 8, 9, 10% category. A little heavier malt, and I would think this would probably do well having a little heavier malt base with that much IBUs in it to get a little bit more of that sweetness in there. But the yeast eats that sweetness up unless you put some kind of lactose in it to give it that heavier sweetness on the back end. So very nice, guys. Much as I hate to say it, even though Henry has paid money and paid a lot of money to ship it over here, this is not to the A category in my opinion. I'm going to give this a B+. Numeric rating on this, guys, would probably be an 87. That's where I'm going to put it. And like I said earlier, Beer Advocate doesn't have anything on this beer whatsoever. And I'm sure somebody will send me and think, oh, here it is, look over here, look over there. I typed in the name of the beer and it returned nothing, so they're out. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer has 71 overall and 37 in the style. Not very good numbers from those guys at all. Very tall. I think it's better than a 71. And to Untapped, they have it at 3.54, which is in their B category also. B beer. That's what I'm thinking. It's a B beer, even though Rate Beer has it a little less than that. I think it's a decent beer. And like I said, a lot of these guys that post these reviews, especially the Americans, unless it's blowing their hair back or their socks off or something like that, they're not super impressed. And I'm a little bit in that category. Decent beer, but not outstanding. So, Henrik, once again, my brother, I do appreciate you spending your hard-earned money for buying these beers and shipping them all the way from Sweden so I could get a chance. And like I said earlier on the other review that he sent me, this is what they are drinking there. This is not a beer that's been specially brewed to be exported. This is what these guys over there are drinking. This is what they've got in their refrigerators there. So I do appreciate that, because a lot of times these breweries, if they know they're exporting it to North America or South America, they'll brew a different batch, different ABV, different combinations to be exported. So that's all we got to say about this one. If you've had this one from Sibbarp, S-I-B-B-A-R-P-S, Husbryggeri, or I don't know, I butchered that word all to hell, I'm sure. Which means brewery, basically, I think. This is their winter warmer, 7.5%. Let me know what you think of it, guys. And if you do have it over here, unless somebody sent it to you, you're probably drinking the export version. Something they may have possibly brewed especially to be exported, not something that they are drinking over there. So that's another reason when I get these packages from somebody that's actually shipped the beers from there and not had specifically brewed for export beer, a lot of times it could be a little different. And this is what they're drinking there. So, very nice. Very, very nice. If you've had it, guys, let me know what you think. And come on back tomorrow. Let's take something out of the fridge. See you then.